So today we are going to learn a new topic, that is respiratory system. Now we can look into the definition of the term respiratory system. Human respiratory system is a network of organs and tissues that helps us breathe. The primary function of this system is to introduce oxygen into the body and expel carbon dioxide from the body. Now we can look into some of the important features of the human respiratory system. The respiratory system in humans has the following important features. The energy is generated by the breakdown of glucose molecule in all living cells of the human body. Oxygen is inhaled and is transported to various parts and are used in the process of burning food particles, that is, breaking down glucose molecules at the cellular level in a series of chemical reactions. The obtained glucose molecules are used for discharging energy in the form of ATP, that is, adenosine triphosphate. Now we can look into the important parts of respiratory system. Some of the important parts of the human respiratory system are nostril, nasal cavity, trachea, bronchus, bronchiole, alveoli, pleura, and diaphragm. Now we can look into each part in detail. First one, the nostril, an opening through which air passes and out of the body. Next is nasal cavity, the cavity which connects the nostrils with the pharynx. Trachea or windpipe, a long tube strengthened by C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Cartilaginous rings help trachea to remain open always. Bronchus, bronchus of trachea which enter the lungs supported by cartilaginous bronchus rings. Bronchiole, the terminal branches of bronchi that open to the alveoli. There are no cartilaginous rings in the bronchioles. Alveoli, delicate air sacs, elastic in nature, seen at the tip of bronchioles. These air sacs are surrounded by a large number of capillaries. The exchange of gases takes place here. Pleura, the double layered protective membrane of the lungs. Pleural fluid seen in between the membranous layers prevents friction between lungs and walls of the thoracic cavity. Diaphragm, the muscular wall that separates the thoracic and abdominal cavity. Next, we can look into the important functions of the respiratory system. Inhalation and exhalation. The respiratory system helps in breathing, also known as pulmonary ventilation. The air inhaled through the nose moves through the pharynx, larynx, trachea, and into lungs. The air is exhaled back through the same pathway. Changes in the volume and pressure in the lungs aid in pulmonary ventilation. Exchange of gases between lungs and bloodstream. Inside the lungs, the oxygen and carbon dioxide enter and exit respectively through millions of microscopic sacs called alveoli. The inhaled oxygen diffuses into the pulmonary capillaries, binds to hemoglobin, and is pumped through the bloodstream. The carbon dioxide from the blood diffuses into the alveoli and is expelled through exhalation. Exchange of gases between bloodstream and body tissues. The blood carries the oxygen from the lungs around the body and releases the oxygen when it reaches the capillaries. The oxygen is diffused through the capillary walls into the body tissues. The carbon dioxide also diffuses into the blood and is carried back to the lungs for release. The vibration of the vocal cords. While speaking, the muscles in the larynx move the arytenoid cartilage. These cartilages push the vocal cords together. During exhalation, when the air passes through the vocal cords, it makes them vibrate and create sound. Olfaction or smelling. During inhalation, when air enters the nasal cavities, some chemicals present in the air bind to it and activate receptors of the nervous system of the cilia. The signals are sent to the olfactory bulbs via the brain. Respiratory disorders. Lung cancer. Carcinogens present in tobacco cause lung cancer. Emphysema. Alveoli rupture due to loss of elasticity by the deposition of toxic substances contained in tobacco. This reduces the respiratory surface and reduces vital capacity. Bronchitis. The tar, carbon monoxide, etc. in tobacco leads to the deposition of mucus and the swelling of lungs due to the proliferation of germs in the alveoli. So, we have reached to the end of the topic. So, respiration is one of the metabolic process which plays an essential role in all living organisms. However, lower organisms like the unicellular do not breathe like humans. Instead, they utilize the process of diffusion. Annelids like earthworms have a moist cuticle which help them in exchange. Respiration in fish occurs through special organs called gills, and most of the higher organisms possess a pair of lungs for breathing.